Hey, it's the Fantasy Football Avengers. We are back for episode number seven. Seven, yeah, we getting up there. It's been 7 episodes, and it's just the two bad dudes tonight,
Oh yeah.
Boulevard and Kyle Shanahan's. So we're gonna go over the week 3 reactions. We're gonna hit you with another round of the WTH. We're gonna go over the bust of the week. We're going to cover who you should be picking up that's probably still in your leagues right now. We're going to go for the call your shot board. We're going to see who was right and who was wrong on the call your shot board from last week. Then we're going to go over the Thursday night football preview. And then, we're going to let you know what we got next in store. But for now, without further ado, let's get this party started with the intro.
You're now about to witness the strength of fantasy football knowledge.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Avengers podcast, starring Kyle Shanahan's Boulevard, GQ, and GI16. And now, here's the boys.
Ew.
All right.
Welcome back. And like I said last episode, I only do that intro to get Garfield upset because he gets mad every time I do it. If y'all can see the way he's looking at me right now, he need to not be worried about what I'm doing and be worried about picking a good kicker for us this week.
Right.
That's what he need to be worried about. Because of you, Garfield, I feel like I want to blame the 49er loss on you because you picked Moody knowing that we do not pick players from the 49ers because when we
He
do,
was hungry.
they suck. Yeah.
Hungry. He was in a mood.
Yes. I need to feed him several times a day so that he don't make picks that affect games on Sundays.
Right.
So we're gonna get this started. Let's see, what game did we not go over last week? I believe we went over the Thursday night game. So let's start with the Sunday games. What we got on the docket, Boulevard?
Oh, okay. We're going. All right. We did Thursday, so I guess we're covering New York at Cleveland. Giants beat them on going on the road to beat Cleveland.
Yeah. Neighbors did his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Neighbors did his thing. And of course, my guy did his thing. Had to hit it twice for y'all. Because Amari Cooper finally had his breakout game of the year. And I said it was coming. I knew it was coming because it was only a matter of time. Amari Cooper has way too much talent. He has way too much talent to not break out eventually. And I feel the same way about Brandon Ayuk. I felt the same way about Jamar Chase. So, Jamar Chase broke out this week. Amari Cooper broke out this week. So I'm expecting the same. I'm expecting the same for Ayuk. He has to.
Yeah, I mean, him or Kittle, somebody's got to get those passes. Somebody's got to get those numbers.
Somebody's got to get those numbers. So this is why we always tell you to stand on business when it comes to the players that you drafted early, because you don't want to drop them. You don't want to trade them because you're going to be very upset when that breakout game happens. And then, because we all know when the breakout game happens, we know what happens next. Their season normally gets back on track. So I'm gonna expect Cooper to be a factor going forward. Like Malik Neighbors, he had a so-so game week 1, week 2 had to break out, and week 3, he continued doing what he do. So when players have too much talent, I don't fret. I don't fret when, unless they're old and washed. I don't fret. I don't fret when they're not getting numbers to start the season, because like we said, week 1, do not panic. The first week of the fantasy football season is essentially an extension of the preseason. A lot of people come out the gate sloppy. So yeah, hold on to these good players. Hold on to these good players. Unless they're old, hold on to these good players. Still not feeling Deshaun Watson. Still not feeling Deshaun Watson.
No.
What did he do this game?
Offense isn't putting up enough points to really be concerned with what he's doing. Deshaun Watson had under 200, 196, 5.3 per completion, but 2 touchdowns, 8 sacks, however. They beat the shit out of him. 8 sacks. I don't know if that was him holding it too long or moving around too much. I don't know.
Aren't they supposed to have one of the better lines in the league?
That's what they say.
Like, Cleveland puts a lot of stock into that offensive line. But like you said, it could be Watson holding on to the ball too long. But also, that New York Giants D-line is really underrated. They're really underrated. Like, people don't understand. Like, they went back to the roots. They went back to the roots because when the New York Giants were effective during the Eli Manning run, they had a strong defensive line, and that's what propelled them to 2 Super Bowl wins. So they went back to the roots for that one.
Lawrence, Burns, Thibodeau. Yeah, that's pretty solid right there. Those three alone. That's a good D-line by itself.
When they went out and got Burns, I was initially perplexed. I'm like, why would he want to go there? But then I started thinking about it. They got Thibodeau over there. They got some players over there that would make that line effective. Like that D-line will get after it. They will get after it. Like, I'm like, okay, cool. I understand now. I see the vision. Now, if they can just get a quarterback, because Daniel Jones ain't it.
Nah. But he had a decent game for him being Daniel Jones. I mean, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. Fairly decent percentage.
But you know what, though? As much as I'm saying Daniel Jones ain't it, he's either on the level or slightly better than Trevor Lawrence. I can say that.
Yeah, at this point, you can say that.
Yeah, I can say that. Like, they're either on the same level or Daniel Jones is slightly better than him. For all the hype, that Trevor Lawrence had coming out, his numbers and Daniel Jones' numbers look strangely the same.
I'm dying to know what y'all think out there about what he just said. Let us know, please.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If you know football, I understand that people think that Trevor Lawrence passes this eye test because he's got this big arm, he's this big quarterback. But to me, size and arm strength are continuously overrated. They're continuously overrated. Give me a guy that's an elite processor. If I'm looking for a quarterback, I want somebody that can process like this. That's what I want. You know, the big arm being 6'6", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", that's cute. But if I'm trying to win football games, I want somebody that can get the ball where it needs to be, when it needs to be, and accurately.
Right.
It's somebody that can protect the football. That's what I want. So yeah, Trevor Lawrence, Daniel Jones, same guy to me. Same guy. Same guy. It's just one is paid like one is paid what he should be paid, and the other one is paid like he's Mahomes, and he's not Mahomes.
Which one is which? Which one is paid fairly?
Daniel Jones is paid fairly. And honestly, in all honesty, he's paid fairly based off of what QBs are paid today. If I had my choice, Daniel Jones would only be making about $15 million. If I had my choice.
Yeah.
We pay these teams are paying these mid quarterbacks. They haven't done anything, but because you need a quarterback in today's NFL, you know, you got to pay the mid guy like Justin Herbert, mid. You got to pay
Mhm.
guys like that because you need a quarterback. Now, Jim Harbaugh could get some good stuff out of Justin Herbert. We'll see. But for now, to me, he's done nothing in the NFL,
Yeah.
but show a lot of mid. But that's just me. That's just me.
No, I 100% agree with you. I mean, there's a reason why the offense is being operated the way it is now over there.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's hard
But,
to have so much faith in Justin Herbert leading your team.
But these are the guys, just the Justin Herberts, the Trevor Lawrences. These are the guys that, the experts tell you, oh, he's better than Brock Purdy. He's not better than Brock Purdy. Neither one of those guys are better than Brock Purdy. They're not. They're not.
No.
They're not. They're not. And I don't give a damn that they can throw the ball 60, 70 yards down the field. That doesn't make you better than Brock Purdy.
Lawrence peaked, what's this, like his fourth year in the league? Trevor Lawrence peaked like 7 years ago.
Yeah, I hear that a lot from people that know what they're talking about. I
Like,
hear that a lot. I hear that he peaked. He peaked at Clemson.
Yeah,
I hear that a lot.
He really did. Like maybe freshman, sophomore year. Like that far back. Because we've been seeing the same player not improving, maybe regressing, if anything, because he's not making the progressions you see out of a quarterback, which are mostly on the mental side. I mean, their techniques get cleaned up, but it's the up here that takes multiple steps forward. And we're not seeing any of that out of dude.
I'm starting to think that all Clemson quarterbacks are overrated, which is probably the reason why DJ Uiagalelei is sucking it at Florida State right now.
Man,
because he was a Clemson quarterback.
He done went. Yeah, he done failed everywhere he went,
and he's failing here. Get him off my team.
Well, transfer after the season.
Yeah, because he's not getting drafted. He's not getting drafted. He's not going to the NFL.
No.
So DJ Uiagalelei, you get yourself prepared to go either
get
to
your
the
CFL,
right. Get ready for the CFL or the UFL. One of the two. The Birmingham Stallions will take you. They will take you. And you'll actually look like something down there because Skip Holtz don't play. So yeah, they'll take you. Anybody else from that Cleveland game? Oh, I want to talk about the Cleveland defense.
Okay.
They're not looking as good this year as they did last year.
No.
At least not for fantasy. Because in fantasy football last year, Cleveland Browns were like a top 5 defense. They were one of them ones. You could start them every week because you knew they were getting cats off the field. They're not doing that this year. You lost to the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
How does that happen? With a defense that's supposed to be as talented as that one, how do they lose? And how are they not putting together a good fantasy season?
Oh, I think that Cleveland game it came down to the Giants handling the run game. Watson can't do enough.
Right.
Like you can't expect him to carry you to victory.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they shut down the run game. And that's really what it came down to because Ford had like 40-something yards.
You know what I love about that the most?
Outside of that. What's that?
I love the fact that when and if Chubb is ready to go this year, it's going to be right back to business for him because there's nobody in his way of getting touches when he's ready to come back.
All right. Ford's not doing a great job holding it down.
Not at all. Not at all. So I really don't have to worry about him splitting carries with somebody when and if he comes back this season.
Right.
Next game? What's the next game on the docket?
Green Bay at Tennessee. Green Bay won 30-14.
Malik Willis is going to be a starting quarterback for somebody next year.
I sure as hell hope so.
Malik Willis, watching Malik Willis the last couple of weeks, it gives me hope that Trey Lance could probably be something one day. Because that guy was left for dead gone and forgotten.
Right.
And the last 2 weeks, he's let us know, hey, I'm here. I am here. I'm not going anywhere.
Mm.
And I love that for Malik Willis because we all thought that he was going to be something when he came out.
Yeah. And then he went out there and shit the bed against the Ravens. I kind of lost hope. But maybe, considering how the quarterback's looking in Tennessee, maybe it wasn't his fault. Maybe he just needed to get into a system that was actually focused on it, on making players better.
Right. And that's the problem with that's the problem with a lot of these coaches. A lot of these coaches do not want to tailor their offense to the quarterbacks that they have. And I know we make a lot of jokes about Bill O'Brien and what he did, but I think the smartest thing Bill O'Brien did was, okay, we got Deshaun Watson. How can we make Deshaun Watson good for our team? Oh, let's adapt the Clemson offense because that's what he was good at. If you're going to take a player that high, you should do all that you can do to maximize the play and the talent around him, as well as the playbook. Like, you watch this guy enough in college.
Right.
What was he successful in? Let's try to maximize that. Was that how that old song go? Accentuate the positives, eliminate the negatives. That's what teams should be doing with these quarterbacks. You know, if you want to win games. But I'm a stern believer in we need better quarterback play in the league, and we need to get better quarterbacks in the league. But you got what you got.
You need to coach these quarterbacks up better. Like the development like he used to be.
Right. You got what you got. You're trying to win something. So who you got on your team to roll with? Do what made them successful. Do whatever made them successful. Do more of that. Do more of that. So whatever they're doing with Malik Willis in Green Bay, they're going to get this man paid next year. They're going to get him paid. He may get a Daniel Jones contract next year.
Well, shit, he'll be better than Daniel Jones if he does even just what he did last week.
Right.
202 on the ground.
Right.
A 10.6 per completion. 6 for 73 on it. I mean, yeah, air and ground.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking for nowadays. So he's the modern prototype quarterback, and he's going to make somebody's locker room a lot better.
Yeah. I tell you who he's better than right now. Anthony Richardson.
Yes.
I bet you the Colts wish they had Malik Willis right now.
Maybe the Raiders too, for that matter.
You're right. I think the Raiders are going to tank for Shador though.
Yeah,
my homeboy. My homeboy wants that so much. Like he's been a Raiders. He's a Raiders fan ever since I've known him. He's a Raiders fan, and he's like every week he's watching Colorado games because he is so sure. My homeboy Gene, he is so sure that the Raiders are taking Shador. He is so sure of that. And I'd be wanting to ask him, you think Dion gonna let him go there? Because Dion already said Travis Hunter and Shador, there are certain teams he's not allowing them to go to.
All right.
So I want to see how this turns out though, because that's going to be interesting. Because they're both going into the draft this year. So that's going to be interesting to see how this turns out.
I also want to point out Levis got sacked 8 times.
What happened?
That Packers defense beat the shit out of Will Levis. 8 sacks and 2 interceptions.
Yeah, a lot of teams need to be beat. A lot of team GMs and front offices need to be beat with how they're handling their quarterbacks and the offensive lines they're putting on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're putting these quarterbacks. You draft a guy that high. don't you want to see this guy his potential maximized?
That's why
Why
you
are you not
drafted him so high.
right? Why are you not putting protection around this guy? Like I'm not the biggest fan of my team's offensive line. Not the biggest fan because I know we got holes. We got holes from now it's just the center and the right tackle because Pony is awesome. But center and right tackle. But I'm like, dog, some of these quarterbacks could thrive behind that line. They could thrive behind that line better than the lines that they have. I complain about our line, but you know what? I'll take my line over Tennessee's line any day.
Absolutely.
Any day. Any day. Because I don't know who they got me and you on the line. I don't know what's going on out there.
Man, they hit that man 12 times. They got 12 hits on that quarterback.
Your quarterback should not be getting hit that many goddamn times. He's a quarterback, not a boxer. He shouldn't be getting hit that many times.
Right.
Like how long do you expect his body to hold up if he's getting hit like that every game? This is your franchise. This is your franchise.
Put everything in this dude. This is who you banking on to carry you into the future.
Like he looks terrible when he's out there, but that's because every time he drops back, in his mind he thinks I'm gonna get hit. I'm gonna get hit. So he makes horrible decisions with the ball because he's shook, thinking that he's going to get hit. So it's like
good. What they call that? Chasing ghosts, seeing ghosts.
Yes, the Sam Darnold effect.
Terrible place to be.
The Sam Darnold effect, which I'm kind of glad that Sam Darnold got over. But it took him a while. You don't want your quarterback to go through that.
No.
You need to spend some time drafting linemen to help your quarterback out because you don't want your quarterback back there getting hit 12 times. And he's getting hit in the pocket, not taking off running, but in the pocket. That's crazy. Right. That's crazy.
Right, because Levi's don't move.
Breakout game for Hop this year?
Oh God, I hope so.
Yeah. Hop had a breakout game. I think he went like 7 for 74 and a TD or something like that.
6 for 73 and a TD, yeah.
I was close.
Targets. Yeah.
I was close. But he ate this week, but Ridley starved. It seems like to me Levis can only feed one a week.
Like literally, he can only feed one. Nobody else. Well, Josh Weil had 5 targets, and that was the second highest on the team. So,
why was he not targeting Calvin Ridley?
Ridley had 3 on the game. Boyd had 4.
Calvin Ridley should have got Calvin Ridley and Hop should be your 1 and 2 views every week. Anytime you drop back, you should be looking for one of them too. Anytime you drop back. And then you work your way to Boyd, then you work your way to somebody else. But those should be the first 2 that you look for. And those are the people that they win contested catches. Calvin Ridley will win a contested catch, and a contested pass, and so does Hop. They're both that good, But then again, if you're worried about getting hit, I can imagine not
Calvin
going to
Ridley and Treylon Burke had the same stat line.
3 Burke's
targets.
Still on the team?
Yeah. 3 targets, 1 reception, 9 yards for both of them.
Jeez, I thought he was off the team.
He should be on another roster by now. Talking about underperforming.
Do you remember when they thought that he could replace AJ Brown?
I do.
Should have just paid AJ Brown. And then they turn around and pay Calvin Ridley what they should have paid AJ Brown.
Dumbasses. Served them right though.
I like Calvin Ridley, but Calvin Ridley ain't AJ Brown.
No.
He's not AJ Brown.
No, there's levels to this shit.
Yeah, it's levels. What else happened in that game? Josh Jacobs had a down game, but they were whipping ass, so I'm pretty sure they weren't really thinking too
Yeah.
much about feeding him. The receiving core didn't really look that good again this week. It is funny because people really don't be paying attention. They don't pay attention what's going on. Like you could tell in your leagues who's really not paying attention. Somebody went around and dropped Jaden Reed because Jaden Reed has had a couple bad games in one of my leagues, one of my money leagues, and I'm like, why would you do this? I'm not going to, you know what? I'm not going to really question it because I'm just going to pick Jaden Reed up.
Right.
But it's like, why would you do this? Like, I don't get it, but whatever. So I went and picked up Jaden Reed. And I'm just waiting for Love to come back because I know when Love comes back, he's going to start peppering this man with targets again. It is going to be business as usual. So yeah. The backup running back got some run this game and did something, but I'm not expecting him to be when Marshawn Lloyd comes back. I'm not expecting Imakano.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting him to do much of nothing, but go back to being a number 3 guy. Because Jacobs is going to get all the run, and if anything happens to Jacobs, Marshawn Lloyd is probably going to be the first up the bat to get all the run.
Right.
Tennessee, what did I'm interested in seeing what did the former Cowboy do? The former Cowboy running back.
6 for 14.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Simply a lot of what he did last year.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna have another 1,000-yard season that you don't understand how. Like, how did he get that?
One of them ineffective ass seasons.
Yeah,
A lot of nothing.
Worse. It's nothing worse. It's nothing worse than that. Than you'll get about 60, 70 yards here and there, no TDs. But at the end of the season, you got 1,000 yards, a couple hundred receptions. Well, a couple hundred receiving yards, and about 5 or 6 TDs. And it's just like that did nothing for nobody because the games you got TDs in, you only had 30 yards on the ground.
That's empty calories.
Empty calories. Stop with the empty calories.
Right.
That's why I'm in week 1. I was like, oh damn, I'm mad I ain't take him. But I had to think to myself, he's gonna let you down. He's gonna let you down, and he does it every year. So salute to all you Tony Pollard owners. It's gonna be a rough year. Next game on the docket.
Next game on the docket is back to Chicago at Indianapolis. Indianapolis won by 5.
The Caleb Williams breakout. I guess you could say this was the breakout game.
I guess, yeah. He had a good game for once.
Yeah, for fantasy, he had a good game. But I guess it all depends on how your league punishes interceptions because he had 2. He had 2 interceptions, but he had two touchdowns, like 330 something yards, I believe.
Let me say, shit. I'm all doing fantasy shit. 363, yeah, because he beat Justin Fields' career high already. So
yeah. So, and this was Cole Kmet's game. I told people because some people that were talking to me, they said they were going to drop Cole Kmet. I'm like, don't do it. Don't drop Cole Kmet because when Keenan Allen gets hurt, we all know Cole Kmet going to eat. And sure enough, Cole Kmet ate this week.
I got him at 6 for this next matchup.
Yeah.
And he's in my fantasy team of the week.
And as long as Keenan Allen is hurt, I'm expecting Cole Kmet to get targets.
Hmm.
I'm expecting him to get targets. So yeah. I tell you what. DJ Moore does not look happy.
No,
He just,
no, he doesn't.
and then you go back to his comments in the offseason before the draft happened, where he says he doesn't believe either one of these guys coming out are better than Justin Fields.
Right.
So I don't think he's all the way sold on wanting to play with Caleb Williams.
Mm.
So it was a reason why I stayed away from this, from these pieces for better or for worse. I'm like, you know what? I don't know who's going to get the run over there. I don't know if everything is on point. Like, it's just something. I was just getting a bad feeling about this team, so
Right.
I stayed away from it. I think I probably got Swift in one league, and the only reason why I got Swift was because I needed a running back. But Swift is doing absolutely nothing over there. I low key, high key wish that Swift was still on the Eagles, because at least when he was on the Eagles, he was getting some run.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's doing much of nothing over there.
That's what happened to the last two running backs that left Philly. Miles Sanders went to Carolina and got a bunch of empty calories.
Yeah.
Now Swift's going to do nothing in Chicago. Is Chicago, Detroit?
Swift. I guess he had no choice, but I wish he never would have left Detroit, because if he could have stayed healthy in Detroit, he could have really put up some numbers, because he was cooking. He was cooking whenever he was on the field. He just couldn't stay on the field. And I think that's the sole reason why they went out. It's just funny. They went out and got David Montgomery, and Swift ends up in Chicago. So Chicago got Detroit's old running back, and then Detroit got Chicago's old running back, and they're getting way more production out of Montgomery than Chicago is getting out of Swift. It's crazy how that happens. Fantasy football has storylines like wrestling.
Right. Just as unbelievable, too.
So Chicago, you said they lost to Indianapolis. Yep. Jonathan Taylor went crazy.
110 for Taylor.
Yeah, how about that? Give the ball to Jonathan Taylor and good things happen. How about that?
Yeah. Figure we knew this one now.
Still nothing with Pitts. Nothing with Pitts.
No.
I'm going to tell you, Pittman is not going to be a thing until Anthony Richardson is not under center. And
that ain't happening unless he gets injured.
Unless he gets injured. I don't want to root for injury. I don't want to root for injury, because, this guy's trying to feed his family. He's on the field. I would much rather him just get benched in favor of Flacco.
I feel like we're all waiting for that.
Yeah. I think if you play fantasy football, we're all waiting for Anthony Richardson to get benched so Flacco can come in and save Pittman's season. So, but in the meanwhile, if that's what you're waiting on, Pittman is an ultimate buy low trade target right now. You could probably get Pittman from somebody for Zamir White. Yeah, you could probably get Pittman for Zamir White right now. So I would do it. I would do it right before. I would do it before this next game, because we don't know what could happen. So I would do it before this next game. But trust and believe, when Flacco comes in there, if Flacco comes in there, Pittman is going to eat. So yeah, this would be the time to buy low on Pittman, because if Flacco gets in there under center, you're not going to be able to buy low on this guy no more. Pierce. He had one target? Well, he caught one ball this week for like 40 yards.
1 for 44 on 2 targets. Yep.
Yeah, he's not getting enough targets for me.
No.
Back to the bench you go, my guy.
It was
Back to
fun
the bench
while
you
it
go.
lasted.
It was fun while it lasted. Downs played this week. I didn't get a chance to see what Downs did.
Downs had 5 targets, 3 catches, 22 yards.
Okay. I expect that to ramp up going forward. Downs may be the guy that you want to own as long as Richardson is under center. What will Richardson's stats look like this week? I didn't get a chance to look at that either.
Yeah, 24 on the ground and 167 in the air with 2 interceptions. Completed a whole 50% of his passes.
See, and that's a consistent thing. Over the first 3 weeks, he had 47% completion, 50% completion, 50% completion. That is not conducive of being an NFL quarterback. If you are a good NFL quarterback, you're completing 64, 65, 66% of your passes. Somewhere in that range. If you're a good NFL quarterback. Hell, Jaden Daniels on Monday night completed 90-something% of his passes. Like it's like this is what I be talking about. What I be saying. Teams just go out there and just pick an athlete. And you're fast, you're big, you're fast, you're strong. You can play quarterback. All you got to do is just run around. And this is how some of these coaches, these high school, college, and now even professional coaches, these are how they're trying to win games. They're trying to win games by cheating the system. You can't cheat the system and think that you're going to continuously win games. Like, when was the last time we seen an NFL quarterback win a Super Bowl just running around, not completing more than 62% of their passes? It's not a thing.
No,
it's not a thing. You want to win a Super Bowl
or some shit? One of them old timey quarterbacks.
Yeah. Like back when they first invented the forward pass.
Yeah. First invented a quarterback that can move.
If you want to win a ring in today's NFL, your quarterback has to be a quarterback. And completing 50% of your passes is not going to win major games.
No.
So yeah. So the Colts are still going to be looking for a quarterback.
Good news, they got Jonathan Taylor, but bad news is your weapons probably won't get the ball as much as they should.
Right. So yeah.
Long season in Indy.
Next game on the docket.
Houston lost to Minnesota 34-7.
Okay. Houston lost to Minnesota. Is that a what the hell worthy?
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
All right.
34-7? Yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah, they got beat down. Sam Darnold was out there dealing. And I said, this is the week that we're going to see the real Sam Darnold. Well, I guess this is the real Sam Darnold. He's dealing. He is dealing. I don't know what hypnosis Kyle Shanahan has that man under, but he from last season. But he's out there dealing right now. Yeah, and I don't expect it to slow down no time soon. But like GQ says, I want to see what this looks like a week 8.
Yeah, I'm not buying the hype. It's still it's Minnesota. It's Sam Darnold. It's Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at this offense, it can't hold up. even with his
Yeah.
center system. I mean, Aaron Jones is out here getting 5.5 a carry. That's not going to hold up. I mean, Darnold's out here dinking and dunking with
It
his
seems like
pass.
they have a really good offensive line out there. It seems like they have a really good offensive line. It seems like Sam Darnold is living his best Jimmy G life.
Hmm.
You're on a team that has a good offensive line, like Jimmy G, like we had in 2019 for Jimmy G. You're on a team that with the defense is balling out of their mind, like our defense was balling in 2019. And then you have weapons. You got the best wide receiver in the league, Justin Jefferson. Naylor has been playing pretty good. Addison is coming back, and then Hawkinson will be coming back. So I can actually see the Vikings making the playoffs this year.
Playoffs, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially since Green Bay is confusing right now until Jordan Love gets back.
Yeah. It might not. They might be a first round exit, but with Sam Darnold as your quarterback, what more could you ask for than a playoff run?
I mean, they got to keep him. You got to keep him off his back. You can't be having 4 sacks on him every week. It's not conducive to success. But Houston had an off week. The running game didn't do shit.
So. Well, we didn't really expect the running game. Only GI expected the running game to be something.
More than this out of Akers. More than that. 9 for 21. That will never.
I expected a way more out of Akers than that.
That will never do.
I didn't expect a week 1 mixing performance, but I expected way more than that. Like, I don't know.
38 yards on the ground, 2.7 a carry. No.
Yeah.
That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, that looks like the Cam Akers that came back the same year that he what did he do? He didn't tear his ACL. What did he do that year? His ACL popped, I believe. Yeah, and then he came back for the year the Rams won the Super Bowl. I think week 1, something happened with Cam Akers with his ACL or his Achilles. I think he popped his Achilles. I think that's what it was. He popped his Achilles, and then he came back the same year. And then when he came back that same year, he didn't look the same. He was giving off like 2-something yards per carry. The Rams still won a Super Bowl, but he did not look the same. This is what he's looking like now.
This one makes you wonder if Stroud can bring a team back from behind.
Have we ever seen him do it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not in college.
I'm not going to sit here and say and play that game with Stroud, because people used to play that game with Brock Purdy all the time. Oh, Brock's a front runner. Brock can't bring a team back.
Until you do it, then it's
until you do it. Yeah, until you do it. I don't think that Houston wants to be in games where they have to come back. So, and I don't see them having many more games like this. But if they do have another game like this, just be prepared for what I told y'all. Just be prepared to see the shot of the sideline with Diggs in Stroud's face. Just be prepared for that. Be prepared for that.
Hey, he got his targets this week. You can't be mad. He got 12 of them. I mean, he ain't do shit with them. 10 for 94. Oh, good, but that's nothing. That's nothing.
Well, 10 for 94. That's 19 points in a PPR league. 9 points in a standard league. So once again, I'm gonna say, stop playing standard. Come play PPR like a real man. Standard is so trash, bro. Because if my receiver catches a pass, he should be rewarded for that, because that's a stat. A catch is a stat. He should be rewarded for it.
You're right. And I don't disagree, because I only play in PPR leagues. So As
Yeah.
far as I know, I make an effort not to play in standards because the reasons you just said.
Standard
I
is
want more
so
stats.
trash.
I want more
It's
numbers.
right. Like you gotta what's in standard. Well, standard versus PPR. It's more in PPR. It's more ways for you to win a game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like because all the stuff that you get credited for in PPR that you don't get credited in standard. Like for instance, catches. Them 10 catches that he had could have been the deal sealer if you're going up against another player. Like if you're going up against let's just say that's a Monday night game. You need 15 points to beat somebody. And the other person, and he's playing somebody else. So Diggs goes out and gives you that 19, and the person that you're playing against, their person only catches 1 or 2 catches for maybe a 30-something yards. You win that game. You win that game versus him only getting 9 points and you lose. That's
Right.
trash. That's trash. So yeah.
Yeah, you preaching to the choir.
PPR all day for me. PPR all day for me. Nico ate this week again, right?
He did.
Yeah, Nico's gonna eat every week. And
Mhm.
that's what I'm happy about. I'm happy knowing going forward that I can draft Nico Collins.
I believe he had 10 targets and Diggs had 12. So yeah, he got 8 out of it. I can't remember the yardage.
And
Not
he did
looking at
more.
it. Yeah. He did good with what he had. I guess I'll go look.
But he had 4 for 86. Didn't score a TD.
Yeah. Okay. 10. Yeah, you had 10 targets and got 4 of them. Damn.
Uh
I know where most of them incompletions went to with Stroud. Shit.
Yeah, Stroud he looked rattled out there. He looked rattled. That's probably the worst game I've ever seen him play.
Had to happen.
It happens. You learn more. You learn more from the bad games than you do from the good ones.
Exactly.
So hopefully Stroud takes that and he goes into the next game as a killer. I'm trying to think. Did we cover everything from that game? I believe that's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the next game on the docket?
Philly at New Orleans.
Philly at New Orleans. The defensive battle.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you had anybody going in this league besides Saquon Barkley, you were probably pissed.
Mm-hmm.
You were well, Saquon Barkley and Olave.
Hurts got his numbers, but yeah, not so much in the touchdown department.
Yeah. Saquon 8, Olave 8.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else got a small plate.
Goddard probably led all the tight ends.
Oh yeah. I forgot Goddard 8. Goddard definitely 8. Because that one long catch, it was like what, a 60-yarder?
60-something, yeah.
Yeah, that one long catch. That if you had Goddard, if you started Goddard, you were probably happy after that catch. But for the most part though, because Devontae got hurt early.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Brown didn't play.
Dude got fined $4,600 for that.
As he should have.
Mm-hmm.
And then the disrespectful thing he did afterwards.
Mm-hmm. That should have made a triple.
Yeah. That just means that somebody gonna see him next time y'all play.
Mm-hmm. Well, he definitely get stretched out. He got a receipt coming.
Yeah. Definitely a receipt coming. That Carr didn't look hot in this game. No. Didn't look hot in this game at all. Alvin Kamara didn't have his best game.
No.
Philly.
He had decent stats, but no, he did not have a great game.
But Philly actually looked like they could stop the run this week. That was crucial because you were going to need that against Kamara.
Yeah, where it is, Carter and Davis got tired of everybody talking shit about him. Carter looked like a damn beast in that game. Jalen Carter on the defense, he looked like a monster in that game. If he
Just
can
imagine.
play like that every week, that defense is going to be usable in fantasy. It's going to be at least streamable.
Just imagine all it took was hearing people talk with your on your name without putting respect on it.
Mm-hmm.
Was what motivated you to go out there and play. Like,
I say they keep doing it.
I think that you should go out and play every game. Like, I don't think that people should talking trash on your name should motivate you. You being in the NFL should be motivation enough, because there's a lot of us that did not make it. It's a lot of us that did not make it into the league, and you being there is a blessing. Is a blessing. So you should fight and strive every day to make sure that your spot is secure, and nobody can come in and take your position. Yes,
What kind of soft ass shit is that?
You should be motivated by, oh, you know what? This is our year for the Super Bowl. Like, our window was open. Let's go get it. That should be motivation.
Yeah,
that should be your motivation. Who else on this team did something? I think that's it. I think that's all the.
Smith had a good game, but as far as the Eagles offensively, it was Goddard and Barkley.
And how long is Smith out for?
I'm not sure.
Or was it just a concussion he got?
Yeah, he's got a clear protocol.
Okay,
so maybe probably this week.
He probably won't he probably won't play this week. But is AJ Brown coming back this week?
I am not 100% sure. The thing went in today. I haven't seen it yet.
Because
the injury report.
I'm asking for my fantasy teams. I got a lot of AJ Brown. I got a lot of AJ Brown.
Word.
And luckily, I've been surviving without AJ Brown. I got one league where I got AJ Brown and Cooper Kupp, and I survived the last 2 weeks without them boys.
Damn.
But I need them. I need them. Like my cousin in church. I need you. I need them. I will never let my cousin live that down. That nigga catching the Holy Ghost in church was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like,
damn.
And they get in the middle of the church, tears streaming down his face. I need you.
We had that spirit in him.
I don't laugh much when I see people catch the Holy Ghost in church, but that was funny. That was funny. What's the next game on the docket?
All right, before we go, I just wanted to point out that again, Rashid Shaheed had 5 targets, caught 0 passes for 0 yards. All right.
Okay.
Next game is LA at Pittsburgh. The Chargers lost to the Steelers 20-10.
I think we can skip this game because there was nothing unless you have Pittsburgh's defense. It's nothing to write home about for fantasy with the Steelers. Like, I'm done with the whole Jalen Warren versus Najee Harris. I'm done with that. I'm done with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Like, none of these guys, even Pickens, none of these guys are viable for fantasy football. At least not consistently enough for my liking.
Right. And I was all in on Fryer move. Nope.
You know what though? I may have to in one of my dynasty leagues. I may have to actually start Fryer move because Mark Andrews ain't giving me nothing.
All right.
So I may have to actually start Fryer move. How about that?
Yeah, it's like they don't even know they can't use Fryer move the way. Dude from Ravens, he's supposed to be using Andrews. They got him in there blocking every damn play.
Right.
You gotta let that man eat sometime.
I need to. I want to see how the team looks with Russell Wilson under center, but they're winning. They're 3-0. I don't see them going away from Justin Fields, even though Justin Fields is just not good. But he's winning. He's winning. So
Winning
they're
makes
not.
everybody look good.
Yeah, and they're just not going to go away from them. They're just not. The Chargers, Herbert got hurt. I said something on the show. I said something on the show before the game about how Herbert had a high ankle sprain, and he went out there to gut it out and wound up hurting the ankle again. So I don't know if he's going to be out, and if he is, how long he may be out. But he really wasn't doing much for your fantasy team anyway. If you were starting Herbert, you were just getting pissed off every week. You probably weren't even looking at you probably weren't even looking at your team that had Herbert on it.
If you were starting Herbert, you was winless. You damn sure winless.
Dobbins got bottled up like I expected him to. Like I didn't expect Dobbins to do much this game because Pittsburgh's defense is really good. They're really good. I don't know if they're the best in the league yet. I don't know. I think that credit may go to Buffalo. I think Buffalo may have the best defense in the league.
Fantasy, do,
yeah. But Pittsburgh defense is right up there. But I need to see them play against somebody because they ain't played against nobody yet. I need to see them play against somebody and see if that defense is really as good as they've been advertising.
Who's saying? So they do.
Yeah, so I need to see them against Buffalo.
I won't be watching them. I won't be watching Pittsburgh until. Well, I won't be watching Pittsburgh unless they lose. Yeah. Pittsburgh there's nothing off from my eyes and my brain and my attention span. There's nothing there I want to watch.
They're strictly a red zone team. Strictly.
Mm-hmm.
You catch up on their games on red zone.
Exactly.
What's the next game on the docket? My homegirl gonna be pissed if she sees this because she's a damn Steelers fan. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Like you're probably only excited about these games because they're winning, but they play a very boring style of football. I mean, it's kind of old schoolish, but it don't help nobody in fantasy football.
Right.
And we're only here. Like, I appreciate the old school style, the old school approach to football that they have. I appreciate it because I'm a big old school fan. But, we're trying to help people win leagues here. So
right. And Pittsburgh ain't winning nobody's shit. So.
Pittsburgh's not winning you nothing. If you got that defense, great. That's the only thing that you need to take away from Pittsburgh. Stop struggling trying to figure out who's going to get the run, Jalen Warren and Najee, and just completely separate yourself from that. Just completely separate yourself from that.
Next game is Denver at Tampa Bay.
Oh, the upset.
The surprise, yeah. One of the
upset. You know what? I'm not calling no more games a wash on here because we all just knew that Tampa Bay was going to get with Denver. We all just knew that. But they didn't. They got washed. They ended up getting washed. Denver has surprisingly has a very good defensive line. Surprisingly. And I'm perplexed because I'm like, the team looks so trash. But you know what, though? I feel like the chemistry is starting to come together over there.
Yeah.
Like, even Bo Nix looked decent this week.
He still looked like a rookie, but
yeah, I
mean, he didn't destroy the team.
Yeah, he looked like a rookie, but he wasn't ass this week. He was decent. He was decent. Like I seen somebody try to compare him to Drew Brees, and I'm like, please shut up.
No.
Please shut up. Don't do that. Do not do that.
Drew Brees wasn't getting rushing touchdowns.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. And Drew Brees was surgical in the pocket. Bo Nix is not surgical in the pocket. If anything, Bo Nix is out there looking like Tim Tebow.
For now, this is best hope. Shit.
Right. So Mike Evans didn't do good this game. I'm starting to panic on Rashad White because I have a lot of Rashad White stock in fantasy football this year, and I'm starting to panic because this Bucky Irving guy just won't go away.
He's not going anywhere.
And it's like
producing like you do.
It's like Tampa Bay is hell bent on trying to get him involved. And I don't like that. I don't like that. Not for my Rashad White stock. I don't like that. Chris Godwin had a decent day. 6 catches, 53 yards, and a touchdown. It's a decent day. It's about 18 points right there. So it's a decent game.
Otten didn't get the greatest numbers, but he got 8 targets. So
yeah,
that gives you hope right there.
Yeah. Targets for a wide receiver is everything. We always say chase the targets. Chase the targets. Who's getting the targets? If this person's getting the targets, add them to your team. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Right.
You want people on your team that gets targets. And I feel like we're about to talk about that. We're about to talk about, somebody to get in targets in one of the next couple games. So what's the next game?
Like Lil Jordan Humphrey getting 8 targets in this game?
I don't want to talk about Lil Jordan Humphrey.
Friend of the show, Lil Jordan Humphrey.
I seen on Facebook today, sometime a couple of years ago, I guess when Jordan Humphrey was playing for the Saints, I made a post about people needing to have their name given rights taken away because why is this kid named Lil Jordan?
Right.
Why is his name?
There's some lofty expectations, man. Paul made it to the NFL and still came up short.
Right. He had a decent game this week, though. He had a decent game. Yeah. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to say put him on your bench yet, but I need to see another week of this. So what's the next game on the docket?
Cortland Sutton been getting numbers though. He's been getting at least targets. I don't
Cortland's
know.
Gonna get traded. Cortland and DJ Jones are gonna get traded.
Well, I know a team in Philadelphia that needs a slot guy, so
y'all got enough. Y'all got enough players, man. Y'all got enough players.
It looked that way, but I ain't seeing
y'all
it.
Got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. You got Paris Campbell down there. You got my guy from Florida State down there, Johnny Wilson. It's somebody else I know y'all got. Bro, y'all got more than enough help at wide receiver down there. You don't need any. Stop being greedy. Let Lamar Jackson get Sutton.
All right, that's fair because Lamar needed and Lamar needed bad. I mean, I'm hoping they at least wait till Harbaugh out of there before they give him some receivers.
I don't think Harbaugh's going anywhere anytime soon. I think Harbaugh
get rid of him, bring in Kubiak.
Harbaugh's got pictures. He got pictures on the owner. He ain't going nowhere. Who was that one coach that we used to always say had pictures on the owner? Because he was trash every year. He was trash.
Somebody in Cleveland?
No, because Cleveland been going through coaches. It's somebody who's had a coaching. He's had a coaching position for a very long time, and the team was trash every year. And we were like, "Yo, he got pictures on the owner." Who is that coach? I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna figure this out, and then when I figure it out, I'm just gonna randomly blurt it out.
It should be like that sometimes.
And then everybody's gonna understand what I'm saying because his tenure at coach was longer than it should have been.
Jeff Fisher?
I don't think it was Fisher. I don't think it was Fisher. I do not think it was Fisher. But That's another good one to think about because he was the Rams coach for way too long.
Yeah. Yeah, they gave him way too much time over there. And he just kept fucking it up worse. So
yeah.
This year was a terrible coach. He can't even win in it. What was that? USXFL or one of them leagues? Those lower leagues. He couldn't even win there. So I feel like that was a total indictment of that man's abilities when he went down there and just flopped. That man can't coach.
Right.
He can't coach adults.
Yeah, you can't coach adults at all.
Right.
What's the next game on the docket?
Next game is Carolina at Vegas.
Oh, this
game of the week.
This is the game when I said, speaking of targets, this is the game that I was talking about. I felt like this game was coming up within the next couple of games. But Deontay Johnson.
Take a bow, young man.
I told y'all last week with Andy Dalton there, a change at quarterback, there's a good chance that Deontay Johnson and Adam Thielen can go off. Those two are the type of receivers that Andy Dalton do well with. And Andy Dalton went off.
Yeah, he did.
He had like 300 yards and 3 TDs.
319, yeah.
Yeah. And Thielen went off before he got hurt.
Yeah, he got the end zone.
He had what? 43 catches, 40 yards, and a TD. So that's about what?
Yeah.
13 points fantasy wise. Yep. But Deontay Johnson went off. Yeah, welcome back. Yeah. Welcome back to fantasy football, Deontay Johnson. 8 catches, 122 yards, and a TD.
Been waiting for that forever. What I mean, you gonna get him
forever?
You got to give Chuba credit. Chuba too.
Ooh, Chuba went off.
Lost the game, man.
Chuba went off. Went off.
He ain't been building that up for years.
And you know what? That just makes me believe in Jonathan Brooks even more. Because Jonathan Brooks is better than Chuba Hubbard. Better. So if Chuba can do that, I can imagine what Jonathan Brooks is going to do. And Jonathan Brooks is a pass catching back. So you don't have to take him off the field on third down.
Right.
So if you got Jonathan Brooks on your team right now and you're stashing him on the bench, you probably feel good watching this game.
Yeah,
because the one thing that we were all thinking about was, okay, so they got Jonathan Brooks, but what are they going to do? Like, the team's still trash. You know, like when the teams are going to stack boxes to stop Jonathan Brooks. Well, now they can't stop. They can't stack boxes now because now you have to respect Deontay Johnson. You have to respect Adam Thielen. You have to respect Andy Dalton.
I would just one point on one thing. Like you said something about Chuba's game. Yeah. Okay. One thing to point out: Sanders vultured the shit out of him. Both running backs got vultured in this game, honestly. Both of them did. Yeah. Sanders stole one from Chuba, and Madison stole one from White. Stole a goal line rush from White. So
I wish there was a way we could outlaw vulturing in fantasy football. Like, I wish there was a way we could outlaw that, because we're missing points out here because teams are getting cute.
A lot of points at that, like 6 points.
Yeah, teams are getting cute on the goal line.
That can make or break your whole week.
Right. Put the back in there that got you down there. Let him get that. Let him get that point.
Yes.
Let him get the point.
That. He's earned that.
I understand. Now I understand if your running back hit a 60, 70 yard run and didn't get in the end zone and they're winded. I understand that. That I understand. But if they're not winded and they can go another touch, let them get that touchdown.
Let them have first down. Let them have their first down, second down run. Then you can bring in whoever to do whatever.
Yeah,
Let that man give that man his shot. Let him try.
at least let him try. At least let him try. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't be mad if you at least let him try.
Right.
I'm mad when you take him out on the one and you bring somebody else in that nobody has on fantasy football.
Yeah,
nobody be having these people.
Week.
And if they do have them, they're not starting them.
Right. Another guy I wanted to point out. He's going to be on my waiver list. I lost my place. Okay. Raiders wide receiver Trey Tucker had 9 targets this game. Huh?
Trey Tucker, aka the blaxploitation guy. Because he got the name of a blaxploitation hero.
He do. Probably got the song in one too. That guitar jazz funk. Yes. Give me that. Well, had 9 targets, 96 yards on 7 catches, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, he did more than Devontae did.
Yeah. I definitely would pick him up and put him on my bench just to see.
Yeah, just
hold
to
him,
see.
Hold him for another week to see if he gets targets like that again.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it out loud, but he may end up on my sleeper team, my sleeper app team, before it's all said and done. Damn it.
Yeah.
My phone to do exactly that. But yeah. Bowers had 4 targets. Devontae had 9 targets. Neither one did much with him.
Just when the white man thought he had it all figured out, he didn't figure out Trey Tucker. Rated R.
They call them balls.
Hey man, Trey Tucker might be the best Tucker in fantasy football if Justin keep missing these kicks.
Right? Can't trust Justin no more, man.
Bro, I'm actually seeing Raven fans saying that they are shook if Justin Tucker has to come up and make a game-winning kick. I'm like, I'm like, 2024 is the Twilight Zone. It's Black Mirror out here because I never thought I would have to hear something like that.
I blame Cat Williams.
I blame Cat Williams too. I definitely blame Cat Williams.
It's all his fault.
You started the year off crazy. So yeah, I'm definitely blaming you.
Yeah. You done put a hex on everybody, Cat.
Right. I see Gardner Minshew's got benched in this game, right?
Mm-hmm.
For Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah.
Which I'm pissed about. I'm pissed about that because I feel like for my Devontae stock, I only got Devontae in a couple leagues.
Mm-hmm.
But for my Devontae stock, gardening Minshew's was the better choice.
Yeah. Oh, he'll be back starting next game.
I don't believe in Dirty Dom. I don't believe in Dirty Dom. Like, that's what Aiden O'Connell looks like. He looks like Dirty Dom Mysterio.
I guess I ain't seen dude before. So all I'm picturing is the little dirty mustache.
Bruh, pull up a picture of this dude. Pull up a picture of Aiden O'Connell. And tell me, don't he look like Dirty Dom?
Hey, yo. Yeah,
that's
there's
dirty.
Definitely a resemblance. Wow.
That's Dirty Dom Mysterio.
Wow. You gotta get this man some chicken tendies.
Give some tendies. Maybe if he got to spend some time with Liv Morgan before a game, maybe he go out there and actually ball out.
Mm. It should be like spinach.
Right.
Next game is Miami at Seattle. Seattle smashed them. Charbonnet had a good game.
Charbonnet had a good game. This game was definitely a Twilight Zone for me because I felt like I didn't believe in Zach Charbonnet, but he actually went out and performed this game. had 2 touchdowns, 90-something yards. Like I didn't believe in him, but he did his thing.
He shocked
We're
all
still
of us.
trying to figure out who the number 2 receiver is. And I told everybody they're going to flip-flop weeks. First week it was who had it first week?
Was it Jackson first week?
No. First week, because I know Njigba had it week 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because both of them guys are competing behind DK Metcalf, because DK Metcalf is clearly
he's been getting
clearly the guy.
Yeah.
He's clearly the guy. 4 catches, 104 yards, one TD, a 74-yard catch. Yeah, love it. I believe Lockett had week 1 and Jigba had week 2. Lockett only had 5 catches for 46 yards this week.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they really didn't need it because Charbonnet was doing good on the ground. So I'm staying away from anybody not named DK Metcalf. See, when I play fantasy football, I don't like the guessing game. Right. I don't like trying to figure out who's going to get the run this week. I want guys on my team that I know are going to get catches and are going to get touches. Those are the guys I want on my team. I don't want nobody on my team. I got to figure out, okay, is it going to be Jaylen Warren this week, or is it going to be Najee this week? I stay away from that. I'll stay away from that. If I lose strategy, if I lose that week, I lose that week. But trust and believe, I'm staying away from what ifs. I'm staying away from that. So the only thing I want, I'll take Geno. And I'll take DK. I'll stay away. Now I feel like if I draft Kenneth Walker, I feel like I can now pick up a Zach Charbonnet as his handcuff. And trust and believe, when Kenneth Walker comes back, the leagues that I have him in, if dudes are dropping Charbonnet, I'm scooping him right up. I'm scooping him.
You said right after up. Walker comes back?
I said when Kenneth Walker comes back. Yeah, when Kenneth Walker comes back, if dudes in my league start dropping Charbonnet, I'm taking him. I'm picking him right up because I feel like I can actually roster him now, and he'll do good for me if I have to put Kenneth Walker on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, he's shown it. At least showed it this game.
Yeah,
this is an interesting offense.
Maybe it was just coaching. Maybe he just needed coaching, better coaching.
Geno's number 1 in fantasy
at the quarterback position.
Mm-hmm.
That's because he's consistently having 300-yard games.
Yeah. At least, close to. Yeah, just about 290 this time. Yeah. They let that man throw the ball, and he getting numbers.
I can see that.
Too. I mean, yeah. I don't know how long that will hold up as him being number 1, but I like it while it's there. I just picked him up in one of my teams, like while we were recording.
I may need to start Geno in a couple leagues.
I just dropped Derek Carr in one of the leagues. Actually, side piece league. I just dropped Derek Carr.
He said, "Damn that."
Yeah, I've seen enough.
Hey, man, I told you, Carr was gonna come back to earth. It's Derek Carr. It's Derek Carr. Like,
yeah, he's somebody else's problem now.
Yeah, like after a certain period of time, some of these quarterbacks we just know, okay, all right, cool, they're looking pretty good now, but it's this person, it's that person, it's Derek Carr, it's Sam Darnold. Like, we know who these people are at this point.
Right.
So what's the next game on the docket?
Next game is Baltimore at Dallas, and that all-time classic.
where
It wasn't
the Ravens almost gave up the ghost.
Yeah.
They were up 28. They were up 28-6, and I was like, "Oh, this is an ass whooping in process. I'm gonna keep watching my 49er game." And the next thing I know, I look, it was like 28-25, and I'm like, "What happened? What happened?" A
Right. Like every time I
19-point
look up, I'd come in the room, look at the TV, like, huh?
a 19-point fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And I felt like if Dallas would have got the ball back, they probably would have won this game.
Absolutely. Baltimore
They
just
probably
collapsed.
would have won this game.
That would have meant a total collapse for Baltimore.
It would have meant a total collapse. Somebody would have been on a hot seat. Somebody. And I'm gonna tell you this: it would not have been the players.
No.
Yeah, because you're not gonna chastise and punish the players.
No, not that kind of shit. That might be a schematic thing. You be letting that come back. You're doing something wrong. Something in the system is fucking up if you letting them come back like that in the fourth. And all you need to do is hand the ball to Derrick Henry and maybe a little Justice Hill and let them go. Just run that fucking clock.
I don't think teams, like I said, getting cute.
Yeah.
Play man ball.
We keep seeing them getting cute, and they keep failing at it. Because that ain't the way the game is meant to be played.
It's not meant to be played like that.
It's a battle. You smash that shit. All this trick fanciness, like that fucking play in the Eagles game, that tush push, that spin off with a tush push, that just failed like a motherfucker. Yeah, stop that shit. All that's not. You're not doing anything that's benefiting the game. You're not. These aren't successful plays.
The name of the game is to win.
Yes. Move the ball forward.
Move the ball forward. It's the fourth quarter. Those defensive linemen were tired of hitting Derrick Henry. So what do? Give them more Derrick Henry. It's that simple.
It's not complicated.
It's that simple. Like Jordan Mason is a battering ram.
Mm-hmm.
We clearly seen what happened week 1 when we kept feeding Mason. What happened? The Jets got tired of hitting Mason, and in the fourth quarter, Mason was having his way with that team.
Mm-hmm.
Why do
That's
you
the
go
formula for
away from the run when it's working? It is working. You don't go away from the run when it's working.
Right.
You use the run to wear down the defense.
Yes.
It's that simple. In the fourth quarter, they're going to get tired. They're going to get tired of hitting this guy. And they're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to make a business decision. I'm going to let somebody else do it. And he's going to have his way with the defense. It's that simple. And I'm pretty sure offensive linemen would rather run block than pass block any day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they would love the run block, because I hear it all the time from offensive linemen how they love run blocking. And I'm pretty sure fourth quarter they want to be out there run blocking.
And you can run block for Henry? That makes it so much easier.
Yes.
Like he gonna get them yards.
Yes.
Shit. Just give that man the ball. It ain't complicated. Shit. 25 is a lot, but it's Derrick Henry. He can handle more. Just give him the damn ball. Kill that clock.
Yes. Just give him the ball.
It's not complicated.
I don't know what you guys are trying to do. I guess you want to preserve him for the playoffs. You got to make the playoffs first.
Right.
You're not going to make the playoffs if you keep doing dumb shit.
Yeah, you can give him a fucking game off when y'all at the top of the damn division. Shit.
Right.
Give him some fucking load management later on. But right now, you gotta win. You gotta win every damn game on that schedule. That was their first win of the season too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the formula. Give it all to Henry.
And Isaiah likely is fool's gold at this point. At this point, he hasn't done anything outside of week 1. We thought after week 1, everybody thought we had a gem.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, Nah, likely is not a thing. He's not a thing. Mark
likely
Andrews Mark Andrews continues to struggle. I think Say Flowers had a good game this game.
3 for 20, no touchdown.
Okay, I lied.
Oh, wait, from what I'm looking, only Ferguson on the Cowboys had a decent game.
Yeah,
TD had a
yeah,
few
yeah.
yards, but nothing.
You know what? My guy Tolbert had a decent game too. I think he had maybe 6 catches, 70 yards, or something like that totaled up to 13 fantasy points.
Tolbert had 3 for 42 and a touchdown. It was that touchdown.
Okay. So yeah, so he did do something that totaled up to 13 points.
Mhm.
So he had a decent week.
Yeah.
Week as a number 3 option, number 4 option. He had a decent week in
Shit,
deeper
not even a
leagues,
full-time starter probably in your fantasy team.
right? In deeper leagues, in like leagues with a lot of flex spots, that was sorely needed. That was sorely needed. What's the next game on the docket?
Next game up. Is San Fran at LA?
Yeah, we're gonna save that one.
All right. Then we got Detroit at Arizona.
Detroit at Arizona. Detroit ran all over Arizona, man.
Mm-hmm.
Montgomery had a game. Gibbs had a game. Amon-Ra St. Brown had a game. Sam Laporta got hurt, but he was on his way to having a game. And Williamson felt it this week. So
yeah,
Jameson felt it this week. He felt it this week. I'm not expecting him to do what he did over the first 2 weeks every week. I'm not expecting that every week. There's going to be some games, like we talked about earlier about Rashid Shaheed. These two guys, they're more Deshaun Jackson than Tyreek Hill.
Right.
And what I mean by that is, with Deshaun Jackson, when you played him in fantasy, there was always a possibility of him catching a 50, 60-yard pass and cooking for you.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't a weekly thing.
No.
It was, he may do it this week, and then you won't see it for another 2 weeks. That's kind of how it was working with Deshaun Jackson. I fell for Deshaun Jackson's hype for the first couple of years. I faded away. Then when he went to Tampa Bay, I fell for it again. Deshaun Jackson was my bane of fantasy football because I never knew when to put this guy in the game. I never knew. I don't want to say Shaheed and Jameson are like that yet, but they're more on that level than they are on the level of Tyreek Hill. With Tyreek Hill, you unquestionably start him every game as long as his starting quarterback is out there. You unquestionably start him every game. I'm not sure you do that with Shaheed or Jameson yet.
No.
We need to see.
Right. Harrison saw the end zone again.
You said Harrison did what?
Harrison reached the end zone again. He had a touchdown.
Yeah.
It's like Dortch and McBride had 3 catches each. And surprise, Michael Wilson had 9 targets and 8 catches that game.
I ain't surprised. I am not surprised. I called this early in the season. I think Michael Wilson is the number 2 wide receiver, maybe the number 3 option on the team. Okay. So if McBride and Harrison are covered, Kyler Murray's definitely going to Wilson. Wilson played great last year as a rookie, and those year 2 receivers, after they've had decent rookie years, they normally come back. They normally come back and put up some decent numbers. So we're gonna see. I've noticed some people try to compare him to T. Higgins. I'm not 100% sure how accurate those comparisons are, but we will see this year.
Mm-hmm. You pretty much named everybody in my waiver wire so far.
But we can bring it back. We can bring it back because
just to give y'all a hint.
people are definitely going to be looking for this. So,
Yeah.
what's the next game on the docket?
Next game on the docket is Kansas City at Atlanta.
Kansas City at Atlanta.
That game shouldn't have been as close as it was.
Yeah. All right, Kansas City versus the Falcons. I gotta say that Mahomes is great for the league. He's a great quarterback, the best quarterback in the league. But Mahomes has been struggling for fantasy. If you drafted Mahomes last year and you drafted him this year, you're not really happy with his production. Like, you're not, because you probably drafted him in the first couple of rounds.
Right.
When I draft a quarterback in the first couple of rounds, I'm expecting you to put up world beater numbers. And he's not doing that right now.
Right. You're right.
But Costa still looked pretty good.
Did he? I didn't see his numbers. Hold on.
I think he had like 72 yards on the ground.
Oh.
So yeah, he did pretty good.
Yeah, 17 for 72. That's pretty solid.
And I think he had a couple catches.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he did his thug dizzle. But that might get cut into because Kareem Hunt's going to be playing this week.
Yeah, it makes sense they didn't bring him in for nothing. I mean, you can't really rely on Samaj. You can't rely on a person named Samaj, period.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at anything.
I've been a P Ron hater ever since he was in the he was with the Redskins.
Mm-hmm. It was a disappointment there too.
And he was a starter.
Yeah.
He was a starter. And we all expected so much out of this guy because he's a starting running back.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of us grabbed him in the mid rounds. He didn't give us nothing. So yeah, Kareem Hunt is definitely going to get run over.
Mahomes is sitting at 12th in fantasy right now. To further your theory, yeah, he's at 12th right now.
And who's number one?
Number one is Geno. Geno, Dak, Baker, Jalen, Joe, Darnold, Lamar, Daniels, Carr, Murray, Allen, then Mahomes. And right behind Mahomes is your boy, Purdy.
Wow.
Yeah. That's not what you draft him as high as you draft him for. Not for 12.
Right. So, yeah. I remember that guy I told you in the one league, the Wire versus the Shy versus Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Remember I told you he was going to take Mahomes in the first round?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he ain't happy about that.
Good. That's what you get for reaching.
Right.
Same again goes back to that being cute shit. Just don't play smart.
Mm-hmm.
Play to win.
But I'm loving Felony Boy.
Which
Rasheed
one is
Rice.
that? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's actually out there cooking. But you know what? I have a theory. Rasheed Rice is great for fantasy, but he's terrible for Travis Kelce. Because Travis Kelce was the guy until Rashee Rice took over.
Mm-hmm.
And now Travis Kelce only has 8 catches on the whole year.
See, that's ridiculous.
Yo, like we need to start. We need to put Travis Kelce on the back of a milk carton at this point.
We may have to do that in an episode.
Right.
Call up the Center for Missing and Exploited Players.
Yes.
Figure out what some of these dudes have vanished to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something to think about. That's definitely something to think about. Can we find these dudes on the milk carton?
Have you seen them?
I'm here for the resurgence of Darnell Mooney.
Oh, absolutely.
I am here for that.
That man almost made my top 10s to this week. Like I'm so all in on Mooney that he almost made my top 10s.
And
I'm
honestly,
expecting him to produce every week now.
I think Mooney's the best receiver on that team.
Yeah.
At least
London and the name Pitts.
At least through the first 3 weeks. I think Mooney's the best receiver on that team. I've always believed in Mooney. I always felt like all Mooney needed was a quarterback.
That's the way it started, yeah.
Because Justin Fields wasn't it.
Right.
Fields was the problem.
No doubt. I mean, you see he gets around a half-decent quarterback and he starts actually looking like a half-decent receiver.
Right.
Well, more, yeah. Like an actual number one option.
So, yeah, in our one dynasty league, I'm going to have to starting Darnell Mooney again.
I don't know. It could have been the coach because, I mean, they still can't use them receivers right over there in Chicago. So maybe it's just something in the water, that green-ass water.
Darnell Mooney's been on my bench for 2 years. I finally got the confidence to put him in my starting lineup.
Man, boy, was a red shirt. You could get a red shirt year in fantasy. Bijan got shut down in this game.
Well, that's the one thing Kansas City defense is really good at is stopping the run. So I didn't expect much from Bijan this game.
No.
Whenever they play against any team with a really good quarterback, really good running back, they key in on that running back. That running back he's not going to get much yards against Kansas City.
That's my number 10 matchup. Kansas City.
But it's funny.
Versus the Chargers.
I think Zamir White lit Kansas City up, though. I think he was probably the last running back to light up that Kansas City defense.
It was a fluke, I'm sure.
Very much a fluke. Because that was the game where the Raiders only threw 2 passes in the second half and won. Game was terrible. That game was terrible.
Like, what year is this shit?
But it was perfect. It was perfect for the Raiders, but terrible all the way around. So it's games like that that make me say, you know what? That whole phrase, any given Sunday, is the most factual thing ever because on any given Sunday, a team could lose like this. On any given Sunday, where your quarterback only throws 2 passes in the second damn half.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Hey, that's what the game script said.
Yeah. Kansas City got by with cheating again, but you know, that's another subject for another day. I think that's it. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's all we needed from that.
The receivers, yeah.
Wow.
All right. Next game is we go on to Monday night. Jacksonville at Buffalo. Buffalo the shit out of it.
They whipped that ass.
You can still hear Christian Kirk crying.
Right. Christian Kirk kind of had a decent game this game, but he still doesn't justify where you took him in fantasy football.
No.
Terrible. His game was terrible.
Lawrence trash game.
Yes. Actually, he had 8 receptions for 79 yards, no TD. So that gave you about 15 points in fantasy, 15.9 points in fantasy.
Acceptable.
But we need a couple more of those.
Yeah.
And we need a touchdown. We need a touchdown.
Oh, touchdown would have made his stats look great.
Would have made it look great.
Yeah.
Even a garbage, because I don't care about garbage points. I take them all.
Right. Don't matter to me when they come.
It don't matter. Definitely don't matter to me when they come. I remember talking to somebody about we were having a discussion about a trade, and he was telling me, well, your guy only gets points in garbage time. Does it matter?
Like that scoreboard is not separating the difference. Like, oh, you scored at this point in the game. That matters less. No.
Right. Like, it doesn't matter when they score. It matters that they scored.
Yes. That's it. Josh Allen had a hell of a game.
But we talked about this earlier. I don't like the game scripts because I feel like the Buffalo Bills probably have the best defense in the league. And then you got an offense with a quarterback like Josh Allen that's going to put numbers up.
Right.
So this guy is not playing in the second halves like that. They usually whipping teams out by the third by halftime. So they really ain't got to play like so. In the second half, it's just run. Right. So I need Josh Allen and them. I need somebody to step up and put some points on that defense. But then again, do I really want that? Because I got Buffalo defense at a lot of places. But still, I need Josh Allen to play all 4 quarters.
I'm going to have the Buffalo Bills as my number 2 team in the power rankings. It's not finalized, so they could be number 1 when it's all said and done tomorrow. But I got some rough draft of the order that I'm going to put out, but they'll see that tomorrow at 5. That was a cheap pump.
Yeah. I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that. Because they want me having Buffalo defense and Josh Allen won me a couple weeks this week.
So James Cook has won me games. So,
oh man, James Cook eating.
Mm-hmm.
He is eating.
I feel like I drafted him fairly low, like 4th, 5th round, and he's giving me top production. So, except this, even this game, I got a good 10 points out of him, maybe 11.
James Cook has got to be. He's got to be like a top 10 fantasy running back.
Got to be. All players, running backs. Come on. Yeah, it should be disappearing on me. Yeah, go on. I'm just going to keep looking for this, trying to figure this mess out. Total. Running backs. Sorry about the delay. The Yahoo be being stupid sometimes.
Yeah. Technology.
Right. All right. Now we're looking for James Cook. James Cook is number 4.
Yeah. I told you.
Right behind Dobbins. Yeah, right behind Dobbins, Kamara, and Barkley. Right behind
Kamara
Dobbins.
and Barkley.
Right behind Dobbins.
Because
because Cook be getting them air yardages too. Yeah, he's got damn near 100 in the air to go with his damn near 203 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah, because he's getting catches. He's running the ball. He's running the ball efficiently this year. I remember some goof. I won't say his name because I'm not gonna shine no light on his channel. But he kept saying, James Cook is terrible. Don't pick up James Cook. He only had like 900 or something yards last year. I'm not sure 100% sure of how many rushing yards he had last year.
Right.
Like how many rushing TDs he had last year. But what he lacked on the ground, as far as stats go, he definitely more than made up for it in the air.
Yeah.
So James Cook had a very solid year last year. I think he maybe had 1,500 yards, all-purpose yards, and like 8-9 TDs. He had a very solid, productive year last year. So
he
when
was kind of a surprise too.
So when goofs like that only talk about his rushing yards, nah, fam, you gotta talk about his receiving yards too, because he does both.
With the running back.
He does both.
Yeah,
he does both. So James, wherever you're drafting James Cook, you're not drafting James Cook in your first 3 rounds,
right?
But the production he's giving you right now, he's giving you first round production,
right?
So if you drafted him in the 4th, 5th round, you are extremely ecstatic about that.
That's the value you're looking for in these drafts.
Because he's put up more points than Bijan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. More points than Bijan, more points than Brees, more points than Derrick Henry, more points than John Taylor. Yeah, just about you name it. If it ain't Barkley, Kamara, or Dobbins, he's outplayed him.
Right.
And he's probably going to continue to, because there's no reason to think it's going to fall off anytime soon. I mean, he's barely being challenged for reps. They're still trying to find a number 2. They keep it changes game to game. It seems like who gets the second to off the bench carries.
If we being totally honest, Cook is kind of sort of Allen's primary receiver too.
Yeah. Yes.
If we being honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, that production's not going anywhere no time soon.
Right.
Unless he gets hurt. And we pray that doesn't happen.
God forbid, right?
I have no stock of James Cook, but I love it.
I do.
I love it. I love it. I love the fact that James Cook is doing it every week, and he's making his cousin proud, Dalvin, because he's playing just like how Dalvin used to play.
Facts.
So what's the next game on the docket?
Next game on the docket. We gotta go backwards. The game is Washington beating Cincinnati in Cincinnati.
I'm gonna say it like this: Jaden Daniels is a problem. He's a problem.
Yes.
And I don't like it. I don't like it. He's a problem.
I do. I'm loving it. I kind of called him as my rookie of the year earlier, like 2 months ago. So I'm all about it. He's even my number 7 matchup this week against Arizona at quarterback. I got hope for him.
I think he's better than Caleb.
It's looking that way. I'm sure he has more upside than Caleb, because Caleb's more of a finished product than Daniels was coming out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there's definitely more upside for Jaden Daniels.
That pass that he threw to end the game.
Yeah, that was a beauty, man.
That was beautiful.
It was a fucking beautiful.
That was
Oh, this shit
beautiful.
just dropped.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Oh, it's like that boy a real quarterback.
A real quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
A real quarterback. Better than Lamar Jackson.
Hey, that means he got some MVPs in his future.
Yeah. Yeah. If he keeps playing like this, yeah. Yeah. He's going to be a
Could be.
problem. And I don't like it. I don't like it. Because my team is in the NFC. So I don't like that.
I see him in there and got to play him twice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad the best that secondary is still ass, or otherwise we'd have a problem. We really would have a problem with the Commanders.
I tell you what, though, I like the fact that the Bengals defense is trash
Yes.
because now we're finally getting the good Joe Burrow for fantasy football. Joe Burrow went off.
Yeah.
Even though they lost, he went off for your fantasy team. With 300 yards, like 3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Keep it going. Keep it going. Because this is what we need.
Look at that. Jamar Chase had a good game. Jamar Chase looking like the shit again. Yes, all for that. Let's do that. McLaurin was solid. As he is. That's just what he do. 4 catches, 100 yards. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Finally.
Yes.
The breakout. Yeah, a couple of breakouts in this game. McLaurin's breakout and Chase's breakout.
Mm-hmm.
Loving it.
Yes.
Loving it. T. Higgins didn't do much, but then again, I didn't expect much from T. Higgins. First game back from a hamstring injury.
Mm-hmm.
I expect him to have a couple games before he has his breakout. But if you have him, you got no choice but to start him because his breakout game could be next week or this coming week. This coming week, so you got to start him unless you have a different option, a better option. You got to start T. Higgins.
Yeah. I mean, though this Andre Silvas dude is also getting a lot of attention from Burrow over there. You got more.
He's the new Tyler Boyd.
Yeah.
So,
he even had a touchdown in that game. He was like fighting on the goal line to break the plane.
I loved every minute of that.
Yeah.
He wanted that TD bad. He was hungry.
He showed me a lot of heart on that play. Yeah. That's just like, yeah, pick him up. I'm going to come back to him because they still ain't picking him up. So I'm sure we'll see his name again in the waiver wires.
Definitely going to see his name. Of course, I got him in Dynasty League. Of course. So that's all the games except for that one. Except for that one that I'm going to get to that right now.
What the hell was that?
49ers up by 14 and you lose by 3.
Before you know that, I'm going to go into my solo Sokoa because I ain't saying shit. I'm going to let you talk.
Okay. Fantasy-wise, Brock Purdy killed it. Jawan Jennings. If you listened to us last week, we told you to pick up Jawan Jennings. Jawan Jennings went off. He went off, and Brandon Ayuk was awful. We had 6 drops in this game. What the hell was that? 6 drops. It's like we feel like we can coast against certain teams, and we should never feel like we can coast against certain teams. I don't care how many times we beat the Rams. You still got to beat the Rams when the Rams are in front of you. And when you're up by 14 points, you take care of business. You don't let the other team get back in the game. You put your foot on their necks and you finish it. Because if you don't, you got me sitting up here like,
What the hell is even that?
because what the hell was even that?
That is a good question.
Jake Moody missing field goals that could have iced the game. Ronnie Bell dropping easy ass open passes.
That one. That's the one that hurt.
And you know, I looked at his scouting report. Said he had strong hands. Where? Where
Ronnie
are those
Bell's
strong
hands are poison.
Ronnie hell. I guess they saying that he had strong hands because his hands are made out of bricks. Because that's what they made out of, bricks. It looked like he was swatting the ball away. I don't want this. That's what it looked like he was doing. I don't want to win. That's what it looked like he was doing.
That's that. No, can't have that.
Bruh, Brock Purdy went out there and played his goddamn heart out with no CMC, no Debo, no George Kittle. Everybody was like, well, what's Brock Purdy going to look like when he ain't got those guys? We see what he looks like. He looks like a damn good quarterback that needs his guys to catch the damn ball.
Right.
That's what he needs. We don't need 6 drops. We need guys that can catch passes when you're open.
Right.
And then, you know, what also
that's their job, right?
Right. It's your job. You know what also we need? We need Kyle Shanahan to stop going away from the run when the run is working. Because in that second half, Jordan Mason didn't get a lot of carries.
Yeah, 19 for the game. That's
yes.
Not a lot.
And the majority of that came in the first half. And you know what we were doing in the first half? We were kicking their ass. That's what we were doing in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
He was averaging 4.1 a carry, 77 yards. Why do you go away from that?
It seemed like he should have got the ball more, considering the offensive short-handed. Yeah.
Stop being cute. I think we need to make a shirt. I think we need to make a shirt that says stop being cute.
I'm with that. I'd rock that.
Stop being cute. Play man football. They could not stop Jordan Mason. He's getting 4.1 yards per carry. Do you know what 4.1 yards per carry means? Every 3 carries is a goddamn first down.
Right.
That's what that means.
That's higher than the average.
Yes. Yes. And you know what else that means? Fourth quarter. That defensive line is tired because they're tired of hitting Jordan Mason. And do you know what you do then? You keep giving the ball to Jordan Mason and let him run the clock out.
Right. Clearly. I mean, he's effective with his runs. 4 mean over 4 carry, like you said, 3 make a first down. But either way, they take time off the clock.
Yes.
Put more pressure on the Rams.
Yes. And you're driving down the field. You're taking time off the clock. And if you score, you're putting them behind the 8 ball.
Yes.
It's that simple. Like
the Rams figured it out. They ran the shit out of Kyron Williams.
Yes. It seems like a lot of these head coaches be forgetting the simple shit because they're trying to be innovative and they're trying to be cute. Play football. Yes. It's that simple.
Football. It's the same game we've all been playing since we were children.
Yes. You don't go away from what's working.
Right.
You don't go away from what's working. Could you imagine if a team was winning, was a team in the NBA was winning, and they were winning strictly off of dunks and working in the paint, and then all of a sudden in the second half they go away from that and start shooting threes, and their threes ain't working, and the other team come back into the game? Like, could you imagine? And we've seen that before.
Oh yeah,
teams go away from what's working. I guess they try to catch the other team off guard. Man, they couldn't stop it in the first half. So why don't you just keep exploiting
That's
what they couldn't
it,
stop?
right? Like, I'm going to keep doing this until you can show me you can defend it.
Exactly.
It's working for me that I have an advantage over you. I'm not going to stop taking advantage of that advantage to dominate you, because that is the goal, is to dominate you, to beat your team into submission, to own the scoreboard.
Yes.
Not to go off on a whim and try experimenting in the middle of a close game. No, if something is effective, you keep doing that until they stop it.
Yeah.
It's football. It isn't surgery. It's not complicated when it gets down to the nuts and bolts of it.
No, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. The game is simple. This game is simple. They making it hard.
Yeah.
They making it hard on themselves. Like the game is simple.
Much.
If the run is working, why do you go away from it? Why go away? You did it. You did it last week. You did it last week at Minnesota. Then you turned around and did it again this week. Like week 1, you stuck with the run. You stuck with the run on week 1. And what happened? We beat the hell out the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the hell out the Jets. Then you turn around in the Minnesota game, start the game with three straight passes. 3 straight passes. Why don't you give them a taste of Jordan Mason early? Right. Let them know this is what you win for all game. Play man football.
Mm-hmm.
We have a quarterback. That can beat you with his arm and his legs if he needs to. But why subject him to that when you could just play man football? When you have a running back that is getting 4 or 5 yards per carry, why would you subject Brock Purdy to all these dropbacks? I mean, granted, he had a pretty clean game. He only got sacked twice, but still, when you had opportunities to ice the game, when you should have been giving Jordan Mason the ball, you didn't.
Right.
And this is why we are where we are, 1-2. And I hope Kyle Shanahan figures this out. Please don't have me up in here going crazy again next week, Kyle Shanahan, because trust and believe.
I'm watching you, buddy.
Please don't make Shanahans have to give you the Shanahans. All right, so we're gonna jump into our next topic because I'm tired of ranting about that. I hope this is my last rant for the season, but knowing Kyle Shanahan, it's probably not. It's probably not.
He's got like 14 more to go.
Yeah. So yeah, let's get into this next topic.
Bust of the week.
Y'all don't be seeing what we be doing off the camera. That'd be the funny part sometimes.
Right?
So where we gonna start off with bust of the week? Where we gonna start?
Oh, I got like 10 of them. Hold on.
Why don't you start with your boy?
We're doing Shaheed?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's 0 for 0. Man, I'm lucky I got out of that week 6-1. Because I got Shaheed on damn near every team I got. I had him started. I don't know how the hell I won.
Yeah, a couple of leagues. I'm looking at that big fat 0, and I still won. Thank God for Deontay Johnson and Scary Terry in a lot of my leagues. They saved me in a lot of my leagues because of Shaheed.
Who else? Who you got?
Let's see. One of my busts of the week. I'm going to say, oh damn. I had it on the, I don't want to say tip of my tongue because then I might have to say pause. Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk. Even though Brandon Ayuk hasn't done much this year, I expected a lot out of him in this game. Like I expected at least 6 or 7 catches, 90 yards. Even if he didn't get a TD, 6 or 7 catches, 90 yards is a solid day. Is a solid day.
Yes.
So yeah, we didn't get that from Brandon Ayuk. Again, you busted this week, my boy.
Shit. I had Devontae Adams. Four receptions, 40 yards. And that's Devontae Adams. For years, he's supposed to be the best receiver in the league, and he's coming down with 4 catches. I know his quarterback's ass, but other players on his team did had more receptions than that. He just got shut down.
Yeah, Devontae clearly needs a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a wide receiver that can make quarterbacks. He's a wide receiver that needs a quarterback.
Right.
My other bust of the week, James Conner.
Yep.
James Conner had 9 rushing attempts, 17 yards, 1 reception, 8 yards. You had a bad week, my boy. Hopefully we can correct that and we can get that back next week.
I'm saying feel the same way about this guy. Next guy, I'm just trying to double up, make sure I'm right about his numbers. Yeah, Mike Evans.
Yeah, Mike Evans busted this week.
2 catches, 17 yards. That's unacceptable. This whole season really been unacceptable. Outside of those 2 touchdowns in week 1
against Denver's defense at that.
Yeah. Like you probably didn't even have a number 1 corner guarding you at this point.
Right.
He was definitely on Godwin. So
my bust, Calvin Ridley.
Ooh.
You had your breakout game last week, and then you came into this game and you only gave us 1 reception for 9 yards.
Damn.
Granted, you got 3 targets, which should never be a thing again. Calvin Ridley should always have several targets. But still, with the 3 you got, you only caught 1 for 9 yards.
That's bad.
That's bad. That's bad.
My next guy had 14 completions for 142 yards.
Yikes.
He scored a whole 12 games, 12 points. Derek Carr.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That Eagles defense showed up to play this week, huh?
Was in trouble all game.
Yeah. Hey, I watched a good portion of that game. That was a nice little defensive struggle that we don't normally see in today's NFL.
Right? Oh, I couldn't even watch it. What didn't show up here?
I got Red Zone, so
yeah, that's where I saw everything I saw a Red Zone because they was not showing the Eagles game in Vermont.
My other bust of the week, J.K. Dobbins. Yeah, 15 carries. And you only managed 44 yards with those carries. He had 3 receptions for 10 yards. Yeah, you didn't do good this week, my boy. Because last week you had 17 carries and you gave us 131 in a TD. So yeah, I would expect with 15 carries you should be able to muster more than 44 yards. Granted, you were playing against the Steelers defense, whom you've played against a lot in your career because you're a Raven. And you had to play without your starting quarterback for half of the game. So I want to give you some leeway, but don't let it happen again.
What you be coming back here now?
Don't you be coming back here now? If y'all don't know, that's from the Monopoly game on the Super Nintendo. When you get let out of jail, that's what they say.
There's a throwback.
Don't you be coming back here now?
There's your throwback. Sure.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to put that on the next episode.
Right. Anthony Richardson. Tony Rich project, because this dude's really a project. He needs a lot of work on the quarterback inside.
Yeah. He needs to go back in. He's not ready yet.
Right? Was that 10 of 20 for 167 and 2 picks?
My God, you can't be a quarterback in the NFL and you're in your first 3 games of the season, you complete 47% of your passes, 50% of your passes, 50% of your passes. You got to do better.
That man ain't even hit 20 completions yet.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It is. This is some of this. Hey, this is crazy numbers. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Not for a quarterback. Not for a quarterback. My next bust of the week, Josh Jacobs.
Yep.
14 rushing attempts, 43 yards. Maybe if they would have given him 14 more rushing attempts, he could have got close to a hundo.
That's 14 more.
The last week they gave him 32, and he gave us 151 yards. So I guess we just got to keep feeding him the ball.
Yeah.
In order for him to be effective, we got to keep feeding him the ball. Who else you got?
Rachaad White.
Yeah, Rachaad White.
Yeah. You said James Conner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we get him off my list and get White off my list. That only leaves A-Chain on mine for running backs.
Okay, and I got a guy who he was really out there seeing ghosts on the field because he threw a pick to a ghost. Trevor Lawrence is on my bus.
Please stop feeding the zombies.
Right. 21 completions for 178 yards and a TD and a pick, and he threw a pick to one of the Pac-Man ghosts. It's crazy. It's crazy the year that DeMar Hamlin is having. He knocked Tua out.
Yeah.
And then turned around and picked Trevor Lawrence.
All this from the not comeback player of the year last season.
Right.
He literally came back from hell.
But it's funny. It's funny. It's funny how the 2 games Monday night featured both teams that were in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
They
Buffalo Bills. And it was a Monday night game when it happened.
It was a
That's
Monday
crazy.
night. Shit.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I will never forget that game for as long as I live because it was championship Sunday. It was championship weekend. And that game was going to determine the championship. And then DeMar Hamlin got injured, got hurt. They had to bring the ambulance out, and they canceled the game. And I'm like, I feel bad for Hamlin. Like, I want him to be okay. But, bro, what are we going to do about fantasy football?
Hey, that's all that's important here.
And it's like I didn't want to say that out loud because I didn't want people to think I was insensitive, because I was very sensitive at the moment of what was going on because, this guy just collapsed on the field, and I'm like, dog, I hope he's okay. Like, I hope he's okay. Like, I want him to be okay. But dog, we got these games going on. Like, what are we doing? Like, people got money on this. What are we doing? What are we doing? How are we going to solve this?
Right.
We never got a resolution to it. So a lot of people won championships that year based off some BS. Because the NFL decided not to do anything about that game, or whatever platform you were on decided to not do anything about that game. Even after finding out he was okay.
Damn. I didn't even realize all that. Can't affect me like that.
Yeah, so a lot of people lost money and lost championships off of that. In the leagues I was commissioner in, I tried to, do what was best for people, but it's only
Right.
so much I could do. You know what I'm saying? Like this is something that the NFL and fantasy football platforms should. This is something that they should have a plan for, because we've seen it once. It could happen again. So hopefully we have a plan for something like this. Like even if teams couldn't finish the game, maybe give credit to some of your bench players.
Yeah.
Like
Something.
if you're gonna cancel this game in the middle of the game and you're not gonna make the game up, let some of your bench players that were on the bench let people be able to slide them into slots and see what happens from there.
And it had to be some kind of solution.
And bruh, I was about to destroy my boy, and because I was down by 40 points. I was down by 40 points going into the championship game. And on Monday night, I had Joe Burrow starting. I had Jamar Chase. I had T. Higgins. And I think I had Gabe Davis. So I had 4 players in PPR, 4 players. I was going to cover that 40 points and then some. Joe Burrow by himself would have got 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was very upset about that. But
They
that
just
was
sacrificed you.
right. But that was your bust of the week. So now we're going to get into some players that may still be on your wire, in your free agency, that you should be taking a hardcore look at.
Absolutely.
Give me what I want.
Waiver wire pickups.
That shit a bop though.
It is a bop. It is a bop. Prince should have sang on that one.
Right?
If the GOAT was still here. All right. Let's talk about my guy. My guy. He's only 6% rostered. He's up from he's up from the 4% that he was last week. But I'm gonna keep banging the table for this guy until y'all start figuring it out. Jalen Tolbert. Another TD caught this week. Gave you another 13 points? Yeah, 13 points. 13.20. Yeah, this is somebody you should definitely be rostering if you have the space in PPR leagues. And like I said, if you're in a league that has a lot of flex spots, he's not a bad spot start for you. Helped me beat Jason last week. Shout out to Jason. He wanted me to give him a shout out on the show because he says that him taking Lamar Jackson #1 over CMC is justified. And I'm like, no, it's not justified, because maybe you should have took Joe Burrow #1 because Joe Burrow kicked your ass this week. But yeah, get Jalen Tolbert. Let's get this man. Let's get this man's rostered numbers up to the double digits at least.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting touchdowns. He should be on people's rosters.
Exactly. Who you got?
All right. I guess I'll start with receivers since you started there. Michael Wilson from Arizona had 9 targets last week. He's only owned in 9% of leagues.
Okay. Luke McCaffrey actually looked pretty decent on Monday night.
Yeah.
He's starting to look like the number 2 wide receiver in that league, in that team. He caught a couple passes. He looked pretty decent doing it. I feel like the more Jaden Daniels gets accustomed to playing in that system with those players, I feel like the more Luke McCaffrey is going to get some looks. So I'm going to keep banging the table for Luke McCaffrey until you guys figure it out. He's only like 2% owned in Yahoo leagues. So you guys need to be going out there and picking up Luke McCaffrey. Nobody's saying start him this week. You don't start him this week, but you definitely want to go out. You definitely want to pick him up, and you definitely want to hold him. You definitely want to hold him for when he starts getting that consistent production.
Especially your dynasty leagues.
Especially in dynasty leagues. As you can see, it took 3 weeks for Scary Terry to really break out. So I feel like it'll be a couple weeks. It'll be a couple weeks of consistent production from Jaden Daniels to Luke McCaffrey. And you would want to have Luke McCaffrey on your team by the end of the year when it comes to the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. He's going to be getting you numbers come week 15. It's going to be like full-on member of the offense out there for like 90% of the reps. Like every he's going to be out there for every drop back. Yeah, you're going to need that guy.
Yeah, you're definitely going to need that guy.
Who else is going to be outside Scary Terry? So,
what's the one thing we always say? Chase the targets.
That's it.
Yeah, chase the targets.
And that bring me to my next pick, because he also had 9 targets, but literally no one owns him in fantasy. I doubt they even know he exists. It's Trey Tucker again. Our favorite 70s pimp, Trey Tucker.
Yes, Trey Tucker.
Yeah.
Hey, your boy is starting to come up in roster earnage. People are paying attention. Kobe Parkinson.
This was going to be the first week I didn't say him.
He's starting to come up. He is definitely starting to come up. I got a player that's 12%.
Get like 5 to 6 targets now. So
right. I got a player that's 12% owned. And he could be something going forward. Roschon Johnson.
Ooh.
The Bears are looking for some sort of production from the running back room, and they're not getting it from Swift. So this week they decided to give Roschon Johnson some run. He got 8 carries, 30 yards. He got 4 receptions, 32 yards. He gave you 10 points in fantasy if you played him. And this is like, he wasn't starting. He just came in the game. So I would pick him up and hold him to see what his next couple of games looks like.
All right. You're right. I mean, that starting running back spot's right there for the taking, because Swift
it's right there for the taking. Because Swift is not living up to promise.
He's not.
Mike, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Would you pick up Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
I'd stash him, yeah. I mean, is he still injured?
He was never injured.
Where is he? Like just practice squatted or something?
Nah, he had a mental health issue.
Oh.
Yeah, he had a breakdown. He had a mental breakdown, so the team gave him some time away.
Yeah, I'd pick him up. I'd stash him, bottom on my bench. What's the worst that could happen?
What is the worst that could happen? That's a good question.
I mean, if he doesn't make it on the field, then I get rid of him. No sweat off my back.
Right.
In best case, I just lost a spot that I would have used for another player that probably wouldn't have got time. So,
another player I feel like you guys should be rostering if you have the room, and only if you have the room. And this is only based off of past events. Kamani Vidal. He's only 3% rostered. We all know the injury history of J.K. Dobbins, and we also know the injury history of Gus Edwards. They both have been
Mhm.
injury prone in the past. So when you're dealing with players that are injury prone, you almost always want to have their handcuffs. And I feel like Kamani Vidal is going to be the person. He's going to be the person. If anything happens to J.K. Dobbins, he's going to be that guy.
I like that.
It's not going to be. It's not going to be Gus because Gus is a goal line guy. Gus is a third and one, third and inches, fourth and inches guy. That's Gus. Gus is not the give it to him 20, 30 times a day guy.
Right.
He's almost like the vulture.
He really
He's
is.
yeah, he's almost like the vulture. Get down to the goal line and then you bring in Gus and Gus pounds it in. Pause. You have any more?
Yes.
Okay.
The number one quarterback in fantasy is only owned in 43% of leagues. What are we doing? Go grab Geno Smith. The man's just
Yeah.
about a lock for 300 yards a game.
Yeah.
He's got three decent receivers. One that you know is going to be targeted heavily, so he's going to get numbers out there. Put Geno Smith on you, and go get him, and then put him in your starting lineup. Don't even take a wait and see approach because he's been consistently high powered all season. So put that man in your lineup.
Yeah, Geno Smith is another guy that makes me believe. He makes me believe in guys like Malik Willis and guys like Trey Lance. Like in the right system, you could be that dude.
Oh my God. I was like the number one cheerleader for Geno Smith when he was coming out of college, man. I thought he was going to be the game breaker. I really did. I thought he was going to be the one. So
Well, Geno had a lot of growing up to do.
yeah.
He had a lot of growing up to do. I mean, it took him getting punched in his face. It took him getting punched in his face by his player, but he took a lot. Matter of fact, you saying that, I'm going to pick up Geno in my big money league because Justin Herbert is trash. So Geno, you're replacing Justin Herbert.
There you go. Moving up in the world, Geno.
Yeah, you're moving up in the world. I got you backing up CJ Stroud.
All right, you guys know any more? I got Chuba Hubbard. He's only owned in 52% of leagues. I know it's more than half, but that's still like the Panthers are revitalized. It's going to be a different team from here on out. They're going to look more capable out there.
Yeah.
So you can put Hubbard on your team and not feel like he's just not going to do anything because he's capable and they have a system where he can get himself going now. So
yeah, and they actually have a good offensive line. And this is what I've been harping on all off season. They actually went out, like they made a conscious effort to go out and try to do everything they can do to help Bryce Young. They went out and got him a line. They got him a line, and then they turned around and got him some weapons. So yeah, if they made a conscious effort to do right by him. I went to go check. I went to go check and see if I had picked him up, but apparently somebody beat me to it.
I guess they're listening.
Yeah, they're listening.
Yeah,
I don't like it. I don't like it. I love it. I love it when y'all listening, but I don't like it when y'all use our tactics against us in these leagues.
That's the risk we taking, trying to educate them. We may teach them too much in the long run.
Right.
I will teach you. I know 121 ways to beat you in fantasy football. I will teach you 120. The last one I will learn to defeat you. My final waiver wire is Alex Madison, just because he's a bigger vulture than fucking DJ Vlad. That's all he do is take Rashad White's touchdowns. 3 games in a row that man has scored a touchdown. He's only owned in 31% of the leagues. Go get Alexander Madison.
Yeah, could you imagine if you could put Madison stats with Zamir White stats? You may actually have a pretty good. You may actually have a pretty good running back. Like I hate vultures. You know what? Another shirt I need to come up with. Stop vulturing.
Yes.
Stop vulturing. Because no, I need my guys to get these touchdowns. The guys that I drafted, I need my guys to get these touchdowns.
No lie.
So that was
No
your
lie.
waiver wire pickups for the week. Now we're gonna go over the new segment that we had last week. Call your shot. In this segment, this is where we at the Fantasy Football Avengers, everybody that's in our league, we all decided to pick players, and we decided to pick players that started on Sunday, that played Sunday, and we tried to determine what their numbers were going to be. And this was fun.
Yeah.
But let me get to that. Let me get to that intro before we get into what we were actually, we actually said, and then it was determine who was right and who was wrong.
Fuck the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. It's been a couple weeks. I had to let y'all.
Fuck the Chiefs.
I had to let y'all know where we stand because, fuck the Chiefs.
Fuck the Chiefs.
And their cheating ways. And I don't care. I know one guy that's a Kansas City Chiefs fan. He was a Kansas City Chiefs fan back when they had Matt Castle. Like he was a real fan, so I don't knock him as much because he was there throughout their bullshit when everything was when they couldn't win before they got Andy Reid as a coach. But when they had Todd Haley as a coach, he was a Chiefs fan. So he's a real down loyal fan. And he's in the league, Kennard. So, I don't knock him as much. But all these new Chiefs fans, get them out of here. Get them and your team out of here. But yeah. So we're gonna talk about call your shot.
Call your shot.
All right. So call your shot. Last week.
Yeah, go ahead.
Last week, we went over this. I read everybody's. Well, I read who all wasn't on the show. I read their picks, and then we all made picks on the show. Let's pull up those picks and see. And me and Boulevard, we're gonna go through who was right and who was wrong. Even though we've already run over this off air, but still. So
it's so nice to hear.
It's still nice to hear. Of course, I went with my guy, Amari Cooper. I said Amari Cooper was going to have 6 catches, 80 yards, and a TD. Amari Cooper gave us 7 catches, 83 yards, and 2 TDs. At one point in time, that stat was exactly 6 yards, 80 catches. So I was right about Amari Cooper. This was going to be his breakout week, and he broke out in a big way. Boulevard, he said Derrick Henry was going to have 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. And keep in mind, we got this up on the YouTube. We got this up on the YouTube. We're going to put it up on YouTube every week. So Boulevard was right. He said this was going to be the week that the Ravens actually fed Derrick Henry. And they gave Derrick Henry 25 carries this week. Derrick Henry had 151 yards. Derrick Henry had 2 touchdowns, even had a reception. So, yeah, Boulevard was right. GQ, he said Malik Willis was going to have 275, 66 rushing yards, 3 TDs, and a pick. Close, but wrong.
Right.
Wrong. He actually had 202 passing yards. He had 73 rushing yards, and I believe he had 3 TDs altogether. 2 on the ground, two in the air, 1 on the ground. So he was like short. He was like short 75 yards. GI, He said Cam Akers was going to have 140 all-purpose yards and a touchdown. No. No. Once
Just no.
again, we were disrespecting the Vikings defense, and I apologize on behalf of the fantasy football Avengers because that Vikings defense is something serious.
What's that meme? I was not familiar with your game.
Yes, I am now. I am very much familiar. I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise because the Vikings historically have had good defenses. So it's
Yeah.
like when you find out the Vikings got a good defense, that's like really nothing new.
Yeah.
Like the Ravens. The Ravens got a good defense. Okay. They've always had good defense.
Always do.
Yeah. Rick had Justin Jefferson at 8 catches, 129 yards, and 1 TD. Justin Jefferson had like 6 catches, 80 yards, and a TD. It was 90 yards. 6 catches, 90 something yards, and a TD. Josh, my boy Josh, had Rashid Shaheed at 6 catches, 158 yards, and 2 TDs. No. No.
That hurt me. That hurt me so bad.
I'm sure it hurt you in fantasy, but it didn't hurt you in real life.
No, it did not. Only in fantasy.
Brandon
real life,
had,
I was happy as shit.
Brandon had Lamar Jackson going for 250 passing yards and 2 TDs. That did not happen. Sybil's had Alvin Kamara going for 90 yards, 50 receiving yards, and 2 TDs. That also didn't happen. That Eagles defense bottled him up. Jason had Zach Charbonnet going for 130 yards and 2 TDs. Close. He had 91 yards and 2 TDs. Kennard had Chris Olave going for 10 catches, 100 yards and a TD. Close. He had 6 catches for 80 something yards, like 83 yards and a TD. Mark had Brandon Ayuk going for 7 catches, 90 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Close. Brandon Ayuk had like 7 drops. At least he had his hands on the ball 7 times at least. But no, he fell way short of those projections. And young Christ to Jesus, aka Swaggy Simpson, had Dak Prescott going for 300 yards and 3 TDs. And he was actually right. Dak Prescott actually pulled off those numbers, albeit in garbage time, but who cares?
Right. They still count on the board.
They still count on the board. Give me 1 second. I think my cord went out, and I don't like that because we are in the middle of recording, and I don't want my laptop to click out on me.
Right.
Give me 1 second. All right, so that was called your shot. We had 3 right and a bunch wrong. We're gonna do this again this weekend. And I'm gonna need y'all that were wrong this week. I'm gonna need y'all to try to figure this out. Because y'all already down. Y'all already down a point. The Mean Boulevard and Young Christ, y'all down a point. And please don't let Garfield get in here and start making picks.
Oh boy.
So Thursday night football preview. All right.
Let's at the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Dallas is the 6-point favorite. Over under 45.5.
So they actually expect some scoring to be going on in this game. You know what? This game may be underrated this week for the sheer fact that the Giants could actually get with the Cowboys this week.
Cowboys are looking a little suspect lately.
Yeah, the Cowboys, the Giants could actually get with them. If Trevor Lawrence Jr., aka Daniel Jones, if he can get 20 targets to Malik Neighbors, they could actually score in this game.
That's the best strategy. Just throw it to him.
But you know what though? Sneaky for fantasy
Wandale?
has been no, not Wandell, not him. Wandell's been getting the targets, but Wandell hasn't been putting up the points. But Singletary has actually been pretty decent for fantasy.
Yeah,
Like
I've been starting him for all season.
you can actually start him. Like I drafted him in a couple of leagues, but I got him sitting on my benches. But I feel like I may be able to start this guy this week against that Cowboy defense. You probably drafted it. I would say high, but it was one of the top three defenses that were probably picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not looking so hot to start the season. At least not how they looked last year. Last year they came out like gangbusters. But we need to see what they're gonna do this year. I feel like Neighbors is gonna get his points. If CD Lamb is gonna have a game, this would be the game for him to have.
Yeah, facts. It's just screaming for him. I mean, who's really going to lock him down?
Right.
Somebody on the other side they can.
Right. You know, I would not be surprised if my boy Tolbert gets another touchdown this week.
Right.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Ferguson is the number one tight end of the week.
I like that.
I would not be surprised, which means that I need to start Ferguson in because I picked up Ferguson in one of my money leagues, my big money league.
I have Ferguson number 4 in my matchups at tight end this week.
You have number 4?
Number 4, yeah. I'm right there with you.
I guess all that just depends on if the Giants can get to Dak or not. If that defensive line on the Giants can't get to Dak, Dak's going to eat. Dak is going to eat, and so is his weapons.
Mm-hmm.
But if they can get to Dak, this is going to be a good game.
Oh, I'm expecting a good game. I'm damn sure expecting a good game out of these two. It's a divisional matchup too.
Yeah. And the Giants aren't the Giants from last year, so you're not just going to come out there and obliterate them. Like, yeah, Minnesota got with them that first game, but I don't see that happening a lot going forward. I don't see them getting run off the field a lot because they didn't get run off the field in week 2 and they didn't get run off the field last week.
Right.
At least not to my knowledge, they get run off the field in week 2.
No, they've been competitive. They've been competitive. They're fighters. Yeah. So, that's the kind of team that's going to knock people, upset people at the end of the season or near the end of the season, knocking them out of playoffs. This is not a team you want to be facing if you're struggling. So,
yeah, they lost by 7 field goals to the Commanders in week 2, but it was 21-18. So it wasn't a blowout.
Yeah, that was a weird game. So
yeah.
Like if they had if the Giants had a damn kicker, it would have been a whole different thing. So.
Right. So yeah. I'm expecting this to be like this may be an upset.
Could be. I think I have it as one.
This may be an upset. I don't remember what I did for pick'ems. I don't remember if I picked the Giants to win this game or did I pick the Cowboys. But this could be this could be my James Vegas upset special of the week.
Ooh.
And only because in this year of NFL football, strange things have been happening.
Yeah.
So the Giants upsetting the Cowboys, and the Cowboys dropping to 1-4. Was it 1-3? 1-3?
1-3, yeah.
Yeah, the Cowboys dropping to 1-3. Shocking. So I could see that happening.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even call it an upset if they won because, Cowboys are going backwards defensively. And the Giants are learning how to win. So Plus, again, it's a divisional matchup. I would take the under on the over-under, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you think it's going to be like what? 22-20?
Yeah,
Giants?
yeah. About that. Exactly about that. Yeah.
Hey, if that's the score tomorrow, y'all need to like, comment, and subscribe if that's the score tomorrow.
X.
Because, bro, we a lot of stuff we've been calling on the air. A lot of stuff we've been calling. And yeah, I we need some recognition over here. We need some recognition because we be giving y'all some good stuff. It's just that y'all got to take it and run with it.
Right.
Like my
We
boy
trying
used to
to
say,
help y'all.
I'm
That's what
telling
we
you
here
some
for.
good shit. I'm telling you some good shit, like my boy used to say. So yeah, you take it and run with it.
We the Fantasy Avengers. We're here to help y'all. Shit.
We are definitely here to help y'all win your leagues. That's what we are here for.
Mm-hmm.
So you got anything else for the Thursday night game?
I don't.
All right.
Well, I mean, I'm expecting a battle.
I'm expecting a battle too. I want a good game. I want a good game. Because that's all we can really hope for on Thursday nights are good games. You know, just give us something good. Because the last couple of years been kind of bad.
Yeah.
But, you know, give us some good. Give us some good. This year's been a mixed bag, but it's been more good than not.
Right.
You know, so just give us a good game. That's what we want, and we'll appreciate it. So, you're starting Dak, you're starting CD, you're starting Ferguson, you're starting Neighbors, you're not starting Daniel Jones, you're starting Singletary because you can still run. You can run on the Cowboys defense.
Yeah.
So you're starting Singletary. So, and you're starting Aubrey every week. If Aubrey's your kicker, every week you run with him, you ride with him.
Yeah, he's getting numbers, surprisingly.
Yeah, he's definitely getting numbers. So, with that being said, we are signing out. We'll see you guys again before the weekend to give you guys some starts and sits. We're going to give you some we're going to call our shots again. We're definitely going to call our shots again.
I think I already got mine, so I can't wait.
I need to do a little more research on mine, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because one thing I'm not gonna do, you're not gonna see me do on this show is call my shot on a 49er. That's not happening. That's not gonna happen. I'll let somebody else do it. But yeah. With that being said, we are out. We will see you guys when we see you. Peace.
Thank you for watching the Fantasy Football Adventures podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Links in the description.